Hello. Busy day today. It's July 22nd, 12:50 a.m. I got done. All right, what did I do today? I was mostly dealing with publishers today. I was specifically taking a look at, I was looking at all of my options in general, globally and otherwise, considering what kind of moves I should make here. And ultimately, I decided that I'm still just going to stick with what I was talking about. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday. I didn't say much yesterday. But I'm going to stick with publishers just for Asia region to help me there, because it's really hard for me on my own to reach out to Chinese and Japanese players, most especially. So I'm hopefully going to see if I can get a good deal with a publisher for that. So I reached out to Phoenix and Arabit Studios and Astrolabe, and I set up meetings with a couple of them, so we'll see how that goes. And I also sent out a message to Playism in Japan, Playism and WSS Playground, I think the other one is called. Those are two like much bigger ones in Japan, so that one's a bit more of a reach, but it looks like Phoenix, Astrolabe, and Arabit could very well be solid, dependable choices to go with if I should choose to do so. Yeah, so I was mostly dealing with that today. I also had to, it was a bit more work than expected, because I also had to put together a pitch deck for a couple of those publishers that I reached out to. I was kind of lazy about it. I didn't really feel like doing it, but it seemed like it was necessary if I want to have any realistic chance of them actually taking me seriously. So I went ahead and quickly slapped one together. So I got all that done, and then I posted another one of my shorts / TikToks, and I did the podcast today as well on Quest. What was it called again? Quest Unplayed. So yeah, I did the Quest Unplayed podcast, and I guess that'll be coming out, I don't know, tomorrow or something like that. I'll be posting about it. It was pretty fun. It was about an hour and a half long. Just talked about the game and whatever, my thoughts on it and where it came from and all that good stuff and a few other things. So it was a fun experience. My first ever interview. Hopefully the first of many. That's pretty much it, I think. Otherwise, I had a pretty good day. Things are looking good. And I have a plan now for my shorts going forward. An idea occurred to me of what I can do to combine my personal branding that I want to do, the philosophy stuff mixed together with the promoting of the game. It's a pretty out there idea. It's pretty wacky. I'm going to mix together my game with these like totally unrelated bits of philosophy that I'm going to do and edit it together in a somewhat absurd way. And I'm going to try to consistently stick with that style for, I don't know, forever, I guess. I'm going to do my best to make them as interesting and strange as possible and just stick with that consistently and hope it works out. I think it'll be something that'll really stand out. I think it's the kind of idea that's probably not going to get much traction at first, but if I really stick with it consistently, I think can build up a following if people find it interesting and if I do a good enough job of it. And I think I'll try to follow a similar style when I do my major devlogs on YouTube as well. And yeah. Oh, and I was just going to say also, once in a while, when I actually have a decent amount of extra new stuff in the game, work that I got done, then I'll probably do one short that's like a straightforward devlog type of thing, because those seem to do okay. Unless my brand new video type ends up doing really, really well, in which case maybe I'll just always stick to that. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a neat idea. And I'm looking forward to getting into it. I've still got a couple more like basic types of shorts that I wrote scripts out for, and I'm going to pump those out over the next couple of days. And then I'm going to make my first attempt at making this new style, my new branding, to go along with the launch of my new logo that I just put out there. So there you go. Yeah, other than that, everything's looking good. I'm feeling good. We're on track, folks. I'm locking in. Yeah, no, not much else to say. kind of want to cut this one short and just get to bed again. Because I had a solid day today, and really the only reason I'm up quite a bit late today is just because of got a little carried away with the publishing stuff, but also mainly because of this podcast, because it was at like 9 o'clock, and then we were there for like an hour and a half, and then I still had to put out the short and whatever, and so I ended up being a little later today than I'd hoped for, but it's okay. Still doing much better than usual, on the right track, and I'm feeling it. Yeah. When it comes to the publisher stuff, as I said, I think the reach that another publisher can get me in the Asia region is very much worth it. It's going to be hard for me to get any outreach out there, and I think even if they take like a 50% cut or something like that, which I think is pretty typical for publishing deals, it'll probably be worth it. I imagine the reach will be much better than anything I could do on my own, but for the global market, and especially for North America and Europe, I've got faith. I've still got faith. I think I can do something special here. I think I can do it on my own, and I feel like the only way a publisher would be worth it for me for North America would be if I got a really big one, like Devolver Digital or something like that. But it's hard to get those, and I also kind of don't want to. I'm very much an individually driven person. I want to do my own thing. I really want to build up my own brand on my own. I would really prefer not to have to in any way whatsoever get locked into contracts with publishers, and possibly the creative part is also a big thing for me. I would not want to have to sacrifice anything creatively. I want that complete control over that, and I don't want to get locked into having to do sequels or having to give up any kind of intellectual property rights or anything like that. So yeah, as much as it would maybe be an option to increase sales, I feel like I can do it alone, and I kind of like the competition too. The thing especially specifically with Devolver Digital is every game that's my competition is published by them. Like the Hotline, I mean, not really competition, but the type of game that my game is. It's like Hotline Miami 1 and 2, Katana Zero. I think Ape Out, I'm pretty sure they published that one too. Could be wrong. But yeah, they do all those games, and so I feel like, I don't know, if I were to be able to even get them, I would be just another Devolver Digital game, you know what I mean? I don't want that. I kind of like this idea that Devolver is this big, I don't know, this big piece of competition for me, you know what I mean? Like, can I do well without them? Maybe it's a bit much to think that I could do as well as their behemoth marketing machine could, but yeah, I don't know. I like seeing them as competition rather than trying to like come to them and be like, yo, my game's a perfect fit for you and whatever. I think it's kind of more fun this way. And yeah, I don't know. As for other publishers, like, whatever. I made that point. I want to go it alone, and I've got the faith. I think I can do this, and it's going to be fun. So, in the spirit of locking in and making sure that I stick to the habits that I'm trying to stick to here and make sure I stay on track, I am unfortunately definitely going to cut this one short. I don't really have much else to say today anyway. I was very just busy and getting stuff done all day, so I didn't even have much time to think about anything. So I'm going to say that probably for tomorrow.